Hey, it's Kerry from Total, and we are super excited to have Gavin from Banded Builders in today. Hi Gavin, are you alright?
Hi Kerry, yeah, I'm really good, thanks.
Awesome, we've been so excited to have you in.
I appreciate the opportunity.
Oh, the CEO of Banded Builders is here.
Still sounds weird when you say
Well,
that.
it's quite a new thing, isn't it?
It is, so it's a new position that was created in 2022. Up until now, the charity's been completely run by volunteers, so obviously due to the growth of the charity, it needs a more kind of senior position to lead the charity forward.
So what kind of things, what responsibilities are you going to hold now as CEO? It sounds quite important.
It is a big role, so but going forward, looking at the strategic kind of way the charity's going to go, build on the incredible growth that we've received already, and partnerships as well. Look to bring in more people to support our work.
So in regards to anybody watching that doesn't know what Band of Builders does and what it stands for, should we chat a little bit about what you guys do and the services you provide? So I've been on site with yourselves. It was last year. Was it a project called Howard's Project?
Howard's Project, yes.
So that project was a gentleman that had been in rehabilitation, and he was moving back to his house, but he couldn't go up and down stairs anymore, and he needed quite a lot of things changing to have a normal lifestyle. Otherwise, he couldn't live at home, could he?
No. So it was preventing Howard from returning home. So Band Builder stepped in with a team of volunteer tradespeople from across the country to make the adaptations to Howard's home, so he could return home safely to his wife and children.
And how long did that project go on for? I came on the last day of it when he came back.
I think that was around an 8-day project, 8-9 days. Generally, our projects last kind of 7 to 10 days.
And a lot was done because all the downstairs was converted into a bedroom.
Yes.
And I think there was two bedrooms downstairs? Oh,
so it's just the one bedroom we converted downstairs. We built the extension to the side of the property for the new wet room. And then we made some adaptations upstairs, fit a new dormer to divide the upstairs property for a bedroom for each of Howard's children.
And then you went and did all the garden as well, didn't you?
And re-landscaped the garden to make it a great space and safe space for Howard.
Do you know off the top of your head how many contractors / volunteers came forward to help for that project, or around about?
I'd say between some of the 30 and 40 volunteers during the course of that project, yeah.
And how did you get them?
So it's a recruitment drive to bring trade volunteers for what we do. Across social media, across our website, across the local press, builders, merchants. Yeah, it's a real mission.
It does look like, following the progress of what you've been doing for a couple of years, it looks like there's a lot of people now that want to get involved.
There is.
And they're putting their names forward to actually come and do a project with you, aren't they?
And it's addictive. So once someone completes one Band of Builders project, you find that they want to get involved and volunteer again. So it is good with a lot of great volunteers. There's so many selfless people out there across the country, and we've even got guys travelling across from Ireland now to get involved in projects on the mainland. Guys travelling down from Scotland and vice versa.
It's unbelievable when you're actually on site as well. They're enjoying being there, aren't they? And they're really putting all the work and effort into it.
I don't think there's like anything else out there. Certainly not in construction where you can give up a day, 2 days, 3 days, and to be part of something that is so rewarding, giving back and helping someone else that's less fortunate than yourself.
And it actually kind of tailors out a little bit from there, because you get people coming in supplying food and refreshments. No,
that's a big part, I think. It's really important also, is kind of uniting the local community, getting the local community involved. Kind of your local supermarkets dropping off food and sandwiches and crisps and biscuits, and we have seen on some previous projects where kind of neighbours don't talk to each other anymore, but when they unite on a Bob project and they've become friends through the Bob project, it's incredible.
Bob, the word Bob. All right, Tom, obviously Band of Builders, but this is going to be the name going forward.
I think so. I mean, it's something, obviously, it's the acronym of Band of Builders, but the charity is fondly known as Bob. Yeah.
And where do people go to see what you guys do, apart from, obviously, you're plastered all over social media? What's your actual website?
So website's www.bandofbuilders.org. Obviously, you can find out about all of our projects, how to get involved, how to volunteer, how to fundraise for Band of Builders, and support what we do.
I'd just like to point out, actually, there's one person that is on every project, getting the hands dirty, getting involved, that you wouldn't expect to be there, and that is you, isn't it?
I do try to get to most of the projects. It's important to me to get involved, not just sit as CEO, but to be part of it and get my hands dirty as well. I mean, my background is construction, commercial landscaping for over 20 years. So I do enjoy pulling on the work boots and the high vis and getting my hands dirty as well.
What was you doing on the site? You was actually laying carpets.
Yes.
Do you remember?
So on Howard's project, we'd been let down by the carpet fitter.
Yeah.
So it was handover day, no carpet fitter. Kind of my background, I'd had some experience in carpet fitting, so I kind of got stuck in on the last morning before handover, and I think we laid 3 bedrooms, a stairs, and Howard's bedroom downstairs as well.
I'm pretty sure we've got some footage of that, and hopefully it's playing right now and this is a voiceover. I'm sure we have. So in regards to, let's go back to yourself being a CEO again. So obviously I can see you still being quite hands-on when you're on these projects. What do you think is going to be your main kind of role and focus for the next 12 months? Looking
at the strategy of the charity, which way the charity goes and how we can grow and keep delivering and helping support more people in construction. I won't always be able to get my hands dirty and get on projects because my role will take me elsewhere. But if I can support the team, whether that be via our partnerships and sourcing materials, so the team of volunteers have what they need to complete the project, that's what I'll be doing. That's a good topic actually in terms of the materials, because all these projects that you guys are delivering, you're doing it free of charge. Absolutely. So you need supplies, materials, there's no cost, absolutely no cost to the beneficiaries when we decide to take on a project. Like I say, the projects are completed by a team of trade volunteers who come together. And we do rely heavily on the merchants, suppliers and manufacturers from across that sector to donate materials. You look at the average value of our projects, they come in around £40,000. Wow. So if we was funding that as a charity, obviously that'd take a lot of funds and fundraising, but we're very grateful to some incredible supporters who donate the materials to our projects. In regards to fundraising, now you've just had quite a big ball, haven't you? What was the exact name of that? So our Band Builders Charity Ball or Gala Dinner, we've just had our event in October at Edgbaston Cricket Ground, and that's really good. And what did you have outside of it? I'm doing this because that's what it looked like. So at the entrance of our event this year, we had a hot air balloon, which was supplied by our friends over at V12 Footwear. Ta-da! There we go. Nice so let's get a name dropping for V12 then. Yeah. So every time they sell a pair of work boots, £5 is directly donated to Band of Builders. Absolutely, it's an incredible partnership, and we're really grateful to the team at V12 for supporting us and launching the V12 Bob boot. Awesome. So there they are, right there, guys. Just to highlight that a little bit more, the boots. All right. So we were discussing just before we started interviewing actually about potential collaboration with other charities and how that may benefit kind of everybody in terms of people that need them. Yeah, and I think going forward, I certainly have a vision of working in collaboration with some other great charities out there that are certainly working in the mental health space in construction. Mates in Mind, Lighthouse Charity, I've met with Lighthouse recently, and some other guys like Steve Kerslake at Construction Sport, Mike Turlin at Construction Buddies, all working in this space. I think it's important that we do come together and work and try and tackle the problem together, not just work in our own individual silos. If we can collaborate, we'll be able to hopefully help more people. Of course, and if there's any other charities, maybe smaller ones that are seeing this and may want to collaborate, can they get in touch with you direct? Absolutely, no, I'd welcome that, certainly. Awesome, and what would the best way of anybody getting in touch, how would they get in touch with yourself? What's the best platform? You can find our details on, obviously on our website, but if someone wanted to contact me direct, you can find me on LinkedIn. That's kind of my go-to platform where I make a lot of connections. Hopefully, while this is on, it's going ding, 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 ding. There's lots of connections coming on, but we'll soon find out. Yeah, great. Now, let's talk about Gavin. Let's talk about you. All right, so you've got a lot of passion for charity and you're doing all this for nothing, basically.
Where do you come from? What's your background?
So my background is construction. Like I say, I mean, I was on building sites at the age of 14.
14?
Yeah.
Why?
So,
Why so young?
Just to earn some pocket money, really. So
Okay.
it started as a weekend job, and then I just found a love and a passion for construction from there, and fell into it. So passionate about construction. Really fortunate to be in a position now that helps me support other members of construction. So it's been good to me, and now I've got an opportunity to give back to others.
So what about when you're not working or putting all your efforts into Band of Builders? What do you do?
I'm always working.
You're always working?
Always working, yeah. No, much to the annoyance of my partner sometimes, but I'm always thinking about Band of Builders.
Yeah.
Always thinking about how we can support other people. You could say I'm in the office like 40, 50 hours a week, but I think I'm always at work, always thinking about what we do and how we can improve what we do and how we can support more people.
I can put a bet on when you're not in the office or working, you're on your phone, on the socials for Band of Builders.
Absolutely, yeah.
Wow, I relate.
It's difficult to put it down because, like I say, I am so passionate about what we do. It is, it's a bug. It's when you love what you do, it's not work, is it?
That's a very good point.
So yeah, you could say I'm never at work because I love what I do.
Now, we've spoke about the things that Band of Builders do in terms of where you help individuals in crisis, you go down and you kit the house out for them or do any refurbs, whatever it is. What other services do Band of Builders actually offer?
So in addition to kind of the practical adaptations that we provide at people's homes, we've also have a financial grant service and a wellbeing service. Obviously, we're really passionate about supporting mental health in construction. So people can come to our website, self-refer, and receive at least six free counselling sessions. And we've just recently launched a new text support service as well. So anyone that's feeling low, needs in the moment support, can text Bob, and connect with a trained volunteer or clinician to get support. Is
there a story behind the sentence that you just said? They can text Bob, because it's quite catchy, that, isn't it?
When we was discussing our key word, obviously Bob came up, and not just because it's an acronym of Band of Builders, but we wanted it to feel a little bit more human. We wanted it to feel like someone could put it in their phone, save the number under Bob, and if they was having a low day, they needed to reach out and talk to somebody. Just think, might need to talk to Bob today.
It's very good, it's very catchy. Did you come up with that?
Yes.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, to earn my money somehow.
So let's look at the last 12 months, let's reflect on it, because it's right at the end of the year now, isn't it? Yeah. It's pretty nearly Christmas. What's been, you've probably got loads of these, but if you had to pick one highlight of this year, what would that be?
Wow, it'd be really difficult to put, to pick out one thing. Like, we've done a number of projects. If I had to say one, I think it'd be going to Northern Ireland and completing our first project in Northern Ireland. And just the response for us was incredible. I was a little bit nervous, if I'm honest, about going to Northern Ireland for the first time, if people over there would get it, what we do. But we couldn't have been more wrong. The response from the local community, the merchants and the suppliers, and the tradespeople was incredible. So they brought into what we do. Obviously, they're quite a close-knit community in Northern Ireland, and it's certainly a region that we look to develop in more.
Tell us a story of that project.
Oh, wow. It's they're just, the Irish are just beautiful people, and they come together. That project had a delivery value of in excess of £90,000.
Wow.
And it cost the charity nothing.
That's fantastic. What's the backstory of the project? Who did you help?
So the gentleman, Gavin, was a former bricklayer, but he has a degenerative condition now called PML. I mean, his body's shutting down, he's wheelchair bound. And Gavin was kind of confined to one room of the property, his bedroom. But we made adaptations, built an extension to create a family room, so Gavin can spend time with his wife and family, and have a different outlook on life, and have a view of the road and see the world going by, and we improved the access into the property as well.
What was his reaction when he saw what you'd done?
He was involved not involved, but he was watching closely during the course of the project. the beneficiary remained home. But he had a wonderful time with all the tradespeople that were there, being a former tradesperson himself.
Well, of course, he's going to have the banter, isn't he?
Yeah.
All right, so I don't know if you can remember in order. So that's Kevin's project, and then obviously we went and saw Howard's project. Is there any other projects that you can tell us about, a little insight to what happened and the backstory?
I'll give you our most recent project for Pete was in Burgess Hill in Surrey, and we've just completed that. Pete was a former bricklayer, had a heart attack in 2020, and was left profoundly disabled as a result of lack of oxygen to the brain. His wife Sam was really struggling getting in and out of the house. Pete's been left wheelchair bound now, and we, a team of volunteers, we went and landscaped and redid the whole drive, paving around the rear of the property to improve access and allow Sam to be able to get Pete in and out of the property. I think it's something that we all take for granted, is access and enjoying outside space when we're able, but when things go wrong it can become really difficult.
It really can, can't it? And all this needs to be done so that they continue a normal life, and the funds just aren't there for the individuals.
Absolutely not.
And that's where you guys step in.
So when things go wrong, they go really wrong, and has a massive impact on someone.
How do these guys know that you exist? How did they get in touch with you?
So with Pete's project, the one we've just completed, Sam, Pete's wife, actually read a story about us in Take a Break.
Right.
And then contacted us through that, or following reading the story in Take a Break. So I think I'm hoping Take a Break will follow that up and do a story on Pete's project now, and because it came about as Sam reading the story there.
Well, they have to now because it's been said.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Now, in regards to media coverage, you guys have been on everything. You've been on BBC, you've been on Channel 4, you've been on the Tools. Yeah. What else have you been on? What have you been getting up to in media? Because you don't like it, do you?
I don't. I hate being in front of the camera. Always have done. Never wanted to be kind of the face of Band of Builders. There's a lot more people that are more comfortable in front of the camera than me. But no, we are really lucky to have such great coverage. I think it's a good news story, so who wouldn't want to share a story about it and promote what we do?
And hopefully that's going to continue, and we're going to see Bob everywhere when we're scrolling down our news feeds or when we're flicking the TV on.
We're trying.
You'll get there. You are already there.
Yeah, we're trying.
So we've just gone through highlights of the year. So I have to ask, has there been any kind of struggling times for you this year?
I think we've this year's been good for us, to be fair. We've picked up our momentum that we lost due to COVID. So we was flying in kind of end of 2019. COVID hit, really knocked the wind out of our sails. That said, during COVID, even though we wasn't able to enter people's homes and carry out the practical projects that we're used to, it did give us time to develop our Big Roo mental health campaign and look at additional services that we could offer to members of construction. So, but no, I think it's been a good year in general. It can be hard. Occasionally we do lose a beneficiary who may lose their battle with the illness that they're suffering from. But in general, I think it's been a really positive year for Band of Builders.
God, that couldn't have been a better answer, could it? All positive, that's what we want. Yeah. But it is positive, and what you're doing is just positive in general.
Yeah.
So is there any kind of messages you want to get out to anyone that may be watching this, the audience, in terms of let's go down the routes of more support that you guys may need? So your audience is predominantly construction focused here.
Yeah.
So what kind of shout outs can we give to this audience to try and help you out?
I think we're always looking to recruit new volunteers. I think that's important. Our volunteers are the lifeblood of Band of Builders. Without the volunteers, we couldn't do what we do. So if there's any construction companies out there that may offer volunteering days to some of their employees, and their employees wanted to get involved, we would welcome that. And like we said earlier, we rely heavily on the material side of things as well. So if anyone would be in a position to support us in future on future projects, then we'd also welcome that.
And we need to make clear to them as well, even if they come on board and say they're a painter, if they're on site and then something happens where they might have to do carpet laying or a bit of joinery, that's okay,
absolutely.
isn't it?
if they've got the skills and they've got the experience, absolutely. You do kind of have to kind of all muck in. But there's no kind of rivalry or there's lots of banter on the site. But it's like no other site. It really is.
And they get special shout outs from you guys as well that they've took part, which is really nice.
It's important to recognise, like I say, the volunteers are the lifeblood of the charity. So it's important to recognise these guys that giving up their time away from their families, away from their work. They're self-funding their travel and accommodation. So it's really special what they do.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming in.
You're welcome.
And sharing all that news and story with us. And have you liked the cameras today?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so. All right, thank you so much.
Thanks, Gary.